Hello there, welcome back to my channel. In this particular video, what we are going to discuss is about communication in IoT and how devices communicate with each other, communicates to the internet, and a bunch of other stuffs, and why this is very important if you want to get into IoT. So to begin with, let's categorize the entire communication module of IoT into two very widely spread out categories. The first one is machine to machine communication, or what we commonly refer to as M2M communication. The second one is machine to internet, like you have a device, it can connect to the internet readily, and how it communicates to the cloud. Now, when you're designing a typical IoT system, both of these are quite essential. Let me tell you why. So for example, you have a bunch of sensors, and these sensors can't connect to the internet. So these sensors are collecting the data, and they need to send this data to somewhere. So they will use M2M communication to send the data to some kind of another device which has the capability to connect to the internet. And that's how the data gets sent towards the cloud. Now, what each block refers to, we'll discuss at a later point of time. But at a very high level, you have devices which can't communicate to the internet. They can just simply talk to each other. Now, how it talks to each other, we are gonna see it right now. So in machine-to-machine communication, devices uses either a wired medium or a wireless medium to communicate with each other. Now, either it can be like device to device, like node to node, or it can be through a mesh, creating a mesh network locally, and then any devices can talk to any other device as long as they are in the range of the mesh. And then there are a bunch of other ways how these devices can talk to each other. Now, there are some protocols that these devices follow to talk to each other. Some of these protocols are listed on the screen. For example, LoRa, which stands for long range, is widely used in the industrial applications, where the sensors they use the LoRa modulation technique to modulate the information signal, and then on the receiver side there's a demodulator which demodulates the LoRa incoming RF signal and extracts the information out of it. Now, there are other types of protocols as well. For example, Sigfox, BLE, and Zigbee, which are most widely used. Just to let you know, like Zigbee and BLE are the most commonly used machine-to-machine communication protocols in the home automation industry. So if you have a home automation device which connects to the internet, probably it is using BLE or Zigbee to connect to a centralized gateway kind of a thing, and then it communicates to the cloud. So there are a lot of protocols. These protocols are there which helps us, or which enables the devices to communicate with each other. Now, this all we're discussing about M2M communication. The second part of the story is machine to internet communication, and that is very important because in IoT, the word I stands for internet. So devices needs to communicate to the internet. Now, how does it do? Well, it's pretty simple. It will either use Wi-Fi or it will use some cellular based communication. For example, like 3G, 4G, LTE, NB-IoT, LTM, etc. It can also use Wi-Fi networks, or it can simply send the data through the old-fashioned Ethernet way, which anyway is much more robust. So you have these devices that has the capability to directly talk to the internet, like any IP-based protocols. And what happens in these cases is that these devices are relatively of higher computational power. They can run for a longer period of time, and it just acts as a medium to send the data to the cloud. Now, why this concept of this is quite important is that because when you're dealing with IoT sensors, these IoT sensors simply do not have the capability. I mean, most of the times it does not have the capability to directly talk to the internet. So it needs a medium in between, and that medium we call it as an IoT gateway. So an IoT gateway is essentially a device which takes as input a bunch of protocols like LoRa gateway, BLE gateway, and so on, or a Sigfox gateway or a Zigbee gateway. It communicates to other Zigbee or LoRa or BLE enabled devices. It collects the data, it talks with those devices, and then what this gateway does is that it will simply connect itself to the internet and enable the devices which can't communicate to the internet to talk to the internet through this gateway. And that's why the term gateway is being used. Now, gateways are widely used in the world of IoT. For example, if you are like working in industry flow where there are a bunch of thousands of sensors, they are talking to probably some hundreds of gateways, and all these gateways are connected to the cloud, to the internet, because the sensors don't have the capability to connect to the internet because of certain restrictions, obviously, like power restriction, bandwidth restriction, network restriction, and so on. So yeah, like you have like machine to machine communication, and then you have machine to internet communication, and combining these two, we create the world of IoT, and we understand like how this communication happens. A lot of things I have not touched in this video, for example, how LoRa works or how BLE or Zigbee works, and what are different protocols to connect to the internet. For example, NB-IoT, LTE-M, REST. I mean, how these things work actually. We are going to discuss probably each of these topics. You can pick it up in probably another video. Do let me know in the comments like what topics you want to discuss, like you want me to discuss on, and then I'll simply pick that up and I will make a video out of it. So that's all about today's video. I hope you like this video. It is all about communication in the world of IoT. I'll release my next video soon. Up till then, please hit the like button if you like this video. Please share this video if you think it's useful. Do subscribe to my channel, and see you again in another video. Till then, bye bye and have a great day.